Hi everyone, it's Mrs. HB. Welcome to today's Mindful Monday. It's still the month of March. It's still March Madness with basketball. And last week, after doing the Mindful Monday and talking about basketball, I realized that the game of basketball has a lot to teach us about school and being a school family. Last week, we talked about the importance of being a team and what a team is and how being a team can help us in the classroom and here at school. Today, I want to talk to you about the idea of boundaries. So I wrote up here on the board, out of bounds. Now, in the game of basketball, one thing that's really important, and I'll show you a basketball court right here, is in order to keep the game going, you have to stay within the boundaries of the court. Now, those of you who have played basketball before know if that ball goes outside of this rectangle, then that's called out of bounds. And that means the game either has to stop or it switches who gets control over the ball. Now, when we think of what boundaries are and what's in and out of boundaries, how do we learn that here at school? How do we know if something is in or out of bounds of what we're supposed to be doing here at Rosie Mount? Well, we have a couple different ways we can know what's in and out of bounds. And probably the most important way is from your teacher. Your teacher each day lets you know what the schedule is for today, what you're going to be accomplishing each day, and what it means to go through the different parts of the day and completing them versus not completing them. So your teacher is someone that can really help you know what is in bounds and what's out of bounds. Some other folks that can help you know what is in or out of bounds are people like me, Mrs. HB, Mr. Blanding, the lunchroom helpers and the 4th and 3rd grade mentors, or the playground staff. These are all people that can be helpful to know what is in and out of bounds here at Rosie Mount. So kind of some easy examples to think about is when you're on the playground, you know you have certain boundaries. There's places where you're expected to be and places that are just off limits. And the reason for that is for your safety and for other students' safety. In the classroom, a great example of something that's out of bounds is if your teacher is reading a book to the whole class or your teacher is giving instruction. What would be out of bounds is talking over your teacher or interrupting your teacher during that time. So those are just two examples of what it means for something to be out of bounds here at Rosie Mount. Today and this week, I invite you to talk with your teacher about those things that might be out of bounds that are a little more tricky, maybe not as easy to think about as the two examples I shared today. Because when we know what's in bounds and what's out of bounds, we can have great days here at Rosie Mount. Thanks so much for joining me today, everyone. Remember, stay Rosie.